And then with the microphone, you want to be up about 6 inches or so. Yeah, right there is good.
Okay, you got you?
Yeah, perfect.
Seems like this desk is clearer than it used to be.
And thank you to Desert Financial Credit Union for sponsoring the KRIM Community Spotlight Program. Good morning, Rim Country. Chris Higgins in the studio, and it is that time for our Community Spotlight Program. Hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday, and hope you had a great, relaxing Labor Day weekend. I know it was busy up here in Rim Country. A lot of people enjoying our community and just the beautiful area we live in called Rim Country. So again, hopefully everyone had a safe and relaxing holiday weekend. This morning on our Community Spotlight program, we have owner of Plant Fair Nursery, Glen McCombs, in the studio. Good morning, Glen.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
And we're going to be talking planting, fall planting, just plants in general, and whatever else you want to share, because you're just a wealth of knowledge.
Well,
and
thank you.
when it comes to plants and how to be successful with your garden, with your plants, because it doesn't always work out that way.
Well, this is not the easiest place to garden, but it is doable.
It is.
That's for sure. And you look up and down, drive up and down the roads, and you'll see a lot of good successes.
Yeah.
So it can be done.
It can be, and I think having that knowledge, having some knowledge, and that's one of the big differences or things that sets Plant Fair Nursery apart from other places that you can buy your plants. Yourself and everyone that works at the nursery is so knowledgeable on plants, fertilizer, food for plants, protecting the plants from plant predators that
That's
are
true.
out there. And they're pretty ferocious, our plant predators here in Rim Country.
Our elk are really getting to be bothersome. Boy, there's a lot of elk.
There are,
Yeah.
and I know, so many people, the majority of people love seeing them. They're very majestic creatures.
We all love them.
Yes, but they can really wreak havoc on your plants, your trees, your garden. So you and everyone at Plant Fair Nursery can help people to protect your investment, because
Well, thank you. First of all, we try not to say that we're experts, because in my view, expert means that you know everything about your subject. And what we like to say is we're experienced, and we do have some real experience there.
Yes.
I've been going on probably around 60 years in this industry, selling plants and making plants grow, and both
Yeah.
between here and the valley. And Toby that works for us, I can't even count how many years he's been just right behind me,
Yeah.
between Phoenix and up here. And then my son Rob has years of experience right here in Star Valley, right
Yeah.
in the Payson area. But I just wanted to mention that on January 1st, Plant Fair Nursery will have been in existence for 40 years.
40 years.
And we have learned a few things, but we still don't know it all. But we've learned a few things, and times are changing.
Yes.
Right now, we're still in the midst of this huge drought.
Mhm.
All you have to do is watch the video on what Lake Mead looks like,
Yes.
or
Mhm.
and of course here in Rim Country we're extremely lucky because we have C.C. Craig and the Blueberries
Mhm.
Reservoir. And that's just really amazing from the work from like Buzz Walker and his crew getting that all done. So we actually have a lot of water, but I still think we need to be conservative, and keep it. And there's a lot of ways that you can water and still conserve water, but still have beautiful plants. So.
And that's an area that, not an expert, but you're very knowledgeable in drought-tolerant plants.
For sure.
And that's something that people, it's very helpful, and you should be aware of what you're planting and the water requirements for the vegetation you're planting. So you're able to show people and explain and say, okay, here, this plant would only require this much water.
Sure.
So,
Well, our problem here is our soils are so diverse.
Mm.
You can have a sandy soil in your yard, and your next door neighbor can have clay. Basically, most of us all just have granite, which is very, very well drained. But there are areas that is just clay, and clay does not drain. So what we recommend you do is you just do a perk test. You know, if you're going to plant a tree, if you're going to invest good money, and things are more expensive now, there's just no way of getting around that.
Yes.
If you're going to invest good money in a tree, and a nice tree, what I recommend you do is just dig the hole first, fill it halfway full of water, and see how long it takes to go down. I call it a perk test, just like you're going to put in your septic tank.
Yeah.
And just see how long that takes to go down. If it sits there and sits there and sits there, you have low drainage, will not take as much water. If you have granite soils or sandy soil, and the water just seems to disappear like right away, then you're going to need more water. So, you know, just doing a little bit of investigating can sure go a long way to make sure that that investment in your tree or bushes or whatever lasts a long, long time.
The other thing that amazed me moving out here from Pennsylvania, where it is a little wetter, a little more lush, a little greener, but the holes, digging the holes, where back there you basically a post hole digger, or just you know, the hole the size of the pot, and slap that puppy in the ground and you're good to go. Out here, not so much.
Not so much.
You can't do that.
Well, if you notice in our ground, in Pennsylvania, and actually most anywhere in the Midwest, or back east we call it, there's dirt because there has been forest over zillions of years, or who knows how long. But anyway, that have created dirt. You know, mixed dirt with compost as the trees compost and the grasses and the bushes and so on. But if you look at ours, when you dig it up, there is no organic in that ground at all. It just didn't happen here.
No.
And even around our pine trees should be acidy, but actually it still maintains about a neutral, because those pine needles never really infiltrated in the ground. There was, you know, it's just on top of the ground, which can help acidify it just a little bit, but not that much, not enough to make it a good acidy soil. So we have just about a pH of about 7, which is neutral, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can grow anything that we sell at the nursery, you can grow in that ground if it's for this area. I like to say, when people say, does everything you have at the nursery grow in Payson? And actually that's not true. We sell plants that go all the way from Tonto Basin clear to the Escadilla Mountains up almost to New Mexico. And we have customers from all those areas. And so we have to kind of carry a diverse amount of plants. So we can't recommend from somebody who's up from Blue, Arizona, a certain plant that we sell for Tonto Basin. So we do carry a pretty wide variety.
Well, that's good to know. So when people go in, they just aren't assuming that, okay, all of these plants will grow well and can survive in rim country.
We're probably looking at over 90% of them will grow in the rim country.
Gotcha.
But there are some, you know, that we just they're a little touchy here. And we have to carry them because our good friends down in Tonto Basin expect us to have some of those plants.
Yes. So coming into the fall season will soon be here, not too far away. Planting. What planting can be done, or what are people doing with their gardens or planting going into fall?
Well, right now we're seeing the end of our summertime. So we're seeing like a lot of yellow leaves now. As I was just now coming up here around the new Gila County complex, I've noticed that there are some locust trees that are bright yellow. There's some Arizona ash that are still beautiful green. They haven't caught on to fall yet, but just within the last few days, grasses are starting to dry up from the heat. But actually, it's a natural time for it to start drying up. So it's getting toward the end, but it's not quite time to plant our fall things like pansies, for instance, is our favorite winter flower. And they're just not available yet, but they will be here soon. And what we have is chrysanthemums right now. Those are all in bloom, and we'll give you something nice and new to look at. So we have lots of those, and we have lots coming every single week. But those are ones that is actually mums are kind of a fall favorite for rim country. People really like them because everything's kind of bloomed and bloomed out by the time you get to this time of the year, sometime in late August or early September. And then the fall mums just start almost as soon as those other ones quit, and things begin to happen. So it's time to start thinking about fall crops like cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli. We're seeing our tomatoes are just looking really bad. They've got blights, and we're waiting for those tomatoes that are bright green to get a little red in them. And actually, you can take the green tomatoes, and as long as they're showing a little bit of color, you can just pick those and put them up on your windowsill inside the house and let them go ahead and ripen up on inside. So once the tomatoes get fully blighted and you've done everything you can, it's time to pull those out. Do a little bit of work in the ground, maybe a little organic or fertilizer of some kind, and work that into the ground, and then get ready to put in fall crop, because we still have time for things that take 60 days. So let's see, where are we? We're September, so September, October, November, that's still 90 days. So we can still, before Thanksgiving, so we can still get a bunch of that stuff in the ground. And at the community gardens, they're doing that. They're pulling out beans and that sort of thing that have just about had it, and they're putting in things like Chinese cabbage or regular cabbage or cauliflower, broccoli, things that they want to get on sometime before Thanksgiving. So it's time to start getting rid of summer and going into fall.
Yes. Now you mentioned the community garden, Star Valley Community Garden. Are there any spots, any plots left in?
I believe that there are two.
There are two. Okay.
And but in Star Valley, the Star Valley Community Garden, it's at the end of the year. It's on a year cycle.
Okay.
So there will become more available, I'm sure, because not everybody goes from year to year.
Okay.
So but by the end of January 31st, if there's any left, then you can sign up for a new garden at that time. So because the people that are there already have until January 31st to re-sign up. But as long as there's two, of course you can jump on it and get those two even right now.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And are you involved at all, or I know you have been, but with the Payson Community
Oh,
Garden?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I do anything that has to do with gardening, plants, or whatever. I'll donate. I'll do anything to make plants a part of people's lives.
Yes. And are there plots or spaces available in the Payson Community Garden?
You know, there is. I believe that there may be. Yeah, there's just a few, like
just a few,
half a dozen. You know what's really incredible about the Payson Garden there on Tyler Parkway is they have 200 plots, and they only garden plots.
Yes.
And they only have like half a dozen that's available.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? There's a lot of people gardening. You drive by out there, it looks like a jungle out there.
Yeah.
And there's just bright green, just tons and tons and tons of plants out there, and they're all doing real good. And so is Star Valley.
Yes.
Star Valley,
both.
it all looks real good.
Yeah. And
So-
both, it's a great opportunity if you don't have the space, at your home, or I think a lot of people, it's a social, event, a social gathering place. You can go and you can learn, you can talk to other gardeners.
Exactly.
You are there, and other people that have more knowledge in the area of gardening, so you can get advice, and it's just a great resource, just a great place.
Right. Well, a lot of people have elk, bad elk, and they can't fence in their area.
Yeah.
So they either, if they want to garden, then the community garden, whichever one, really provides an opportunity for that. Yeah.
One of the things you mentioned, the soil, and you carry, I think, a wide variety of different potting soils,
Oh, yeah.
fertilizer. How important is that to match that with what you're planting or your soil?
You know, really, I put a lot of credence in certain things for certain. There are like, for instance, not necessarily in the vegetable area, but like in, let's say you want blueberries.
Uh-huh.
Blueberries take a real acid soil. So like if we're a 7, as we talked about before, but you need like 5 to grow a blueberry, a successful blueberry, then you need an acid mix. So in that case, we would not just recommend anything. We would recommend something that says acid, something that will create acid in the ground that you have to make those blueberries grow. But if you look at the vegetables and the flowers, they're always somewhere in that range of like 6 to 7, and our soil is there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so basically we just don't need to add an awful lot, but we always need organic.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, and we have want to say hi to a couple people that are watching and commenting. Clifford Lane, he's in Southern Illinois, and he watches our program. He has family here in the Payson area, but he said town elk and deer will eat your plants up. They're hungry critters, and he said I live in town and the squirrels they get to a lot of things. And then also Edna Welsheimer, who used to be here in Payson and the director at the Time Out Shelter, she said, love the fall mums. She loves those. So, yeah, so fall mums, you have those currently, and you said the other...
Well, pansies will be coming in, and we have right now we have snapdragons, and then they'll go into the cold. We're waiting for our pansies and our violas, and then snapdragons will do it. Dianthus is another one that'll take some cold, because even though you can't believe right now that it's going to be cold, it's just right around the corner.
It is.
There's going to be, I always say, our first snow or our first real snap of cold is just before Halloween, when you have to get the kids all bundled up to go out trick-or-treating. And that's just about the case. So we have up until then, before we're too cold to really plant things. You can plant shrubs and bushes and trees and all that anytime. But when we're looking for things for production, they really want to be on the upside rather than the downside. So you can plant even like we were talking about blueberries. You can plant blueberries now, or even in the fall, and then they'll root out all winter long, and then they'll be ready to go in the spring. So you almost gain a whole year. We recommend fruit trees the same way. Fruit trees you can actually plant any time of the year. But if you plant fruit trees in September, October, November, then they're going to go dormant, but they're still action down in the ground. They're going to root out, and then in the spring they're going to start blooming and possibly set fruit. It's not a guarantee, of course, but they're going to try.
Yes. Well, and want to encourage people to follow your Facebook page, Plant Fair Nursery, because there's a lot of great information that gets put on there. Also, posts regarding plants that you're just getting in. So when you get shipments in, I believe your daughter-in-law Lisa does a great job taking pictures and showing everyone what you just received in.
Yeah, she loves to take pictures of the flowers that come in that the bees like, because she always takes pictures of bee butts.
I was just looking, with those right there.
That's it.
Yeah. No,
but they're pictures with personality.
No, they certainly are. Also, you have a lot more than just the plants, and wow, some beautiful pictures of the snapdragons.
Yeah, the snaps really came in pretty this time, and we're getting more every week.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, and also all of the pottery. You have pottery down there, also gifts in the gift shop, but and the one, I don't know if you have any more of them, but I remember seeing the post, the predators, the birds, the eagle and the owl, and their wings move.
We do have those. We got them back in stock. We were out for quite a while.
Yeah.
But boy, I'll tell you, they are neat.
Yeah.
I think the women go generally right for the flowers, and the men go right over to see how that eagle works.
And those do a good job, don't they?
You know, what's really sad is we used to have birds all up in the front up there, and they would go in the bird baths, and they would you know, take a bath and like that. Since we put the eagle and the owl up, we haven't seen a bird up there. I mean, there's birds on the other side, over in the trees and like that, so we didn't scare them all completely away.
Yeah.
But they're not right up there in front where we can see them like before.
Oh, so the little birds that would
they're scared of those.
They would enjoy the bird bath. Oh boy. Also, great pictures of the mums as well.
Yes.
So those mums that you have in 4-inch and 1 gallon size mums.
Yeah, if you want to see what's coming in new and fresh, just get to our Facebook page, because Lisa does an excellent job of anything, including like we got in wine barrels, and she took pictures of the wine barrels to show that we had those, and not just flowers and not just bee buds. She does everything that comes in, including those the pottery and that type of stuff.
Well, the bees, they really seem to love that, and in this picture they're on the Mystic Spire Salvia.
Yeah.
Wow.
They love that, yeah. Actually, they seem to go for just about anything that has a bloom in it. We've seen them very deep down in, to see movement down in a marigold blossom, where, you know, I don't know how they can, what they're looking for it all the way down in there, but it must be pollen, so. Yeah.
Wow. So again, talking with Glen McCombs, owner of Plant Fair Nursery, and located in Star Valley. You can't miss it as you come into Star Valley, right on the right-hand side. And this January 1st, celebrating the 40th anniversary. There are not too many businesses in town, in the area, that can say, you know, they've been around for 40 years.
Well, there was, Payson was a pretty small community when we came here. You know, I remember, I think there was around 5,000 in Payson and 400 in Star Valley. And I had left a perfectly good corporate job to open my own little business, and I thought for a while there, what have I done? But the people were here were so incredible. That all of our customers, we built a real good clientele. Loved all of these people that have been here for a while and retired here or were ranchers here, and I learned so much from them. Everything that I actually learned about gardening in Rim Country all came from those people that had already done it all. You know, they had planted this and they had planted that, and it either grew very well or it didn't. So we grew up our basis for our experience, not necessarily our expertise, but our experience, based on all those folks and all the things that they've done for years here. So, it was a great learning experience, and still is.
Now, how long, something that's coming up this weekend that you've been involved in for, I believe, quite a while, the Northern Gila County Fair. Oh
yes, yeah. Actually, I had forgotten about that. I'm getting old. I have to be reminded of everything. The Gila County Fair, and actually this year my wife and I are going to judge the horticulture and floriculture.
Nice.
I haven't done that for a year. I used to be superintendent for years, ever since they moved from Pine to Payson. I was superintendent for years. Now we've got some incredible people from the garden club who have taken over that, and they're doing a real good job. And they asked us this year if we would judge. So I'll be judging veggies, actually, vegetables, and my wife will do flowers. She was a florist before we met and came to Payson.
Wow. Yeah, I know we had some board members in. We had, did we have Lisa Harder and Faith Lowry and Trinity Lowry, Faith and Bobby's daughter, in on our program yesterday, talking about the fair.
Faye is dynamite. She has done an incredible job.
Yes. Oh yeah, she has. She's put so much energy, just her heart into it. Yeah. And they've done an incredible job over the years. Cassie Lyman helping out, and a big part of with the auction and everything her and her family has done with that. And everything, I know you've been involved for many years. They said it's their 68th year of that fair. So
yeah, I've been in and out of it. I was a superintendent for a while, And then, but my wife has been in it since, I think maybe since we moved here, even up in Pine. She worked
Wow.
along with Eileen Lawson,
Mhm.
who is still a floriculture. All these years she's been
Wow.
a floriculture superintendent, and Linda's worked with her in that. So we've got a lot of history back in there. Maybe I was in and out of it due to demands at the nursery. I can't always do
Yeah.
everything I want to do, but yeah.
No, I hear that. And have a few more minutes. Just want to mention you're going to be on next month as well in October, I believe October 11th, the second Tuesday, to talk about an event that's happening that weekend, October 15th. And you want to share just a little bit about that?
Absolutely, yeah. We haven't had an event now since COVID. So, well, you know, we used to have an event every year, one in the spring and one again in the fall.
Mhm.
And the one in the fall is our customer appreciation. So we're going to have that this year. But this year we managed to get a whole bunch of garlic.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of interest in garlic at the Payson Community Garden. And there's a place down in Gila Gardens,
Mhm.
that also grew an awful lot of garlic. So it gave us the idea to have our customer appreciation and garlic fest.
Garlic
So,
Fest.
yeah, so we're
Wow.
gonna have all things garlic, and then we're gonna talk about customer appreciation. We're gonna be giving away some prizes, and it isn't totally formulated yet, but we're gonna have some food and, you know, some munchies, and then we're gonna have speakers. And then there's three of us gonna talk about the different kinds of garlic,
Mhm.
how to grow, when to grow, what they're going to look like. And then after that, we're going to have a person, an expert or an
Mhm.
experienced person, talk about plant-based cooking, and then she's going to incorporate garlic in that because of the Garlic Fest.
Yes.
So it's going to be very, very interesting, and those are going to be, there's going to be one at 9 and one at 11.
Mhm.
Where they're just going to be short presentations, and they're going to talk about the benefits of garlic and how to grow garlic. And garlic is so easy to grow that getting nice big garlic that will get blue ribbons at the
County fair.
Thank you, the county fair.
Yeah.
Maybe not as easy, but you can get really good garlic for home. And some people are great growers, and other people grow just a nice garlic that they're going to use themselves. But there's going to be a lot of information.
That's great. We're going to, on that day, be a little bit like Gilroy, maybe. Gilroy,
Probably
California.
won't be to that extent, but I'm still looking for garlic ice cream.
Oh, I know. They have that. Don't they?
I saw that on their website.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. That just, but you know, there's some interesting lavender, the rose petal. You know, there's some flavors that are very tasty. So I guess I would have to try it.
Well, they're getting
See.
away with a booth that has garlic ice cream in it, so somebody must like either that or
Yeah.
everybody wants to try it.
Just try
They may
it.
never do it again, but they want to try it.
Well, everybody can imagine that weekend, and again, this is October 15th, that it's going to be happening at Plant Fair Nursery in Star Valley. That weekend, maybe there won't be as much kissing going on because of people's garlic breath.
We won't have to worry about space.
What you can do is you need to have a kissing booth down there.
I thought of it.
Garlic fest and a kissing booth. Two things that don't go together. Well, hey, thank you so much, Glenn, for coming
My
on
pleasure.
this morning.
Thank you for having me.
And sharing all that information. Again, you know, do not hesitate if you have questions, you know, about your garden, planting, anything you're doing out there. It's definitely worth a visit to Plant Fair Nursery to ask Glen or any of the other knowledgeable people there, you know, to get their opinion, get their experience, draw on that experience on what would work the best for you and for your garden, for your yard. So a great resource to tap into. And thank you again, Glenn.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. And thank you everyone for listening. And it's time to get back to the music with some Jackson Brown, Gordon Lightfoot, KRIM, and even some Donna Summer. But first, let's get a quick update from the National Weather Service.
And from here for
There we go.
All right. Well, thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Always fun.
Yeah, that is.